Hello, we are Group 6, presenting our innovation project for the Scott's Miracle-Gro company. Our team members include myself, Brooke, Claudia, Jen, and Andrew. First and foremost, we would like to outline Scott's Miracle-Gro as a company and explain why we chose them to focus on this semester. The Scott's Miracle-Gro company and its subsidiaries is the current leading manufacturer and marketer of branded consumer lawn and garden care products in North America. They produce and market lawn and garden care products such as, but definitely not limited to, lawn fertilizers, grass and seed products, pest and disease control products, as well as offering a line of more organic and eco-friendly lawn and garden products. With this all being said, we chose to focus on Scott's for the following three reasons. The first being their brand familiarity. Like I previously stated, the Scott's Miracle-Gro company is the current leading manufacturer of branded consumer lawn and garden care products in North America, meaning they are extremely well known and respected within the gardening community. While we also chose to focus on Scott's due to their commitment to community engagement. Scott's Grow More Good initiative has goals such as connecting 10 million kids to gardening, updating product formulations to leave a better effect on the environment, and offering one of the most generous retirement plans in the country. So we thought it would be fitting to focus on a company that already heavily values community, the environment, and their customers' well-being. Then finally, Scott's performance within the social sphere of sustainability positively showcased their efforts in elevating and educating society's opportunities with sustainable practices. So we deemed that Scott's opportunities within this aspect made them the perfect fit for this project. Moving on, we would like to introduce our persona, Miss Green. Miss Green is a recently retired former third grade teacher, married mother of two, and grandmother to three beautiful grandchildren. Since retiring, Miss Green has much more time to spend with her family and tending to her garden, meaning she wants to learn much more about different gardening techniques and how to live a more sustainable life while doing so, as she has a long-term goal of eating completely from her garden or local vendors, as this kind of farm to table style of life is much healthier and enriching for her family in the long run. Miss Green is a very loyal Scott's Miracle-Gro user, as it has never failed her, and she believes that if something is not broken, definitely don't fix it. Ultimately, Miss Green is looking for something that will bring the family together while also sharing her passions for gardening and sustainable living. Keeping Miss Green in mind, we chose to focus on the living principle people, more specifically the long view criteria. In our living principles analysis, we originally gave Scott's Miracle-Gro a score of 3 out of 5, which was not necessarily their worst score, but where we thought there was the most room to grow and be creative regarding sustainability. We rated them a 3 out of 5, specifically out of consideration that gardening as an activity has a positive impact on participants' mental health by reducing stress, improving moods, and providing a sense of purpose, as well as the Scott's Grow More Good initiative I previously mentioned. Ultimately, there is no limit to how much a company or brand can positively impact the long view of their customers' lives. So this criteria was ultimately what we decided to focus on for the Scott's Miracle-Gro company. I will now pass it over to Claudia, who will walk us through our how might we process.
Thank you, Brooke. So after much thought, we concluded on two how might we statements. How might we facilitate productive engagement within the gardening community? And how might we educate and assist consumers regarding sustainable gardening practices? So looking at the next slide, combining all of these ideas with our persona, Mrs. Green, we were able to create Scott's Green Thumb. So just a little bit about our product concept. As Brooke just mentioned, Mrs. Green is a loyal Scott's Miracle-Gro user. She is recently retired with her grandchildren, so she's looking to spend more time gardening with her family. And because Mrs. Green's persona does use Facebook, we were able to post a Facebook post where she'll be able to see the post and raving about our great Scott's Green Thumb restaurant that she will love to be a part of. And now I'll pass it off to Jen to talk about our Green Thumb restaurant.
Thank you, Claudia. So in terms of our specific type of concept, we will take you on to Scott's Green Thumb's specific website itself. So what exactly is Scott's Green Thumb? So Scott's Green Thumb is a combination of a greenhouse garden along with a third place in mind social space in which consumers can come in, take classes both in the garden itself or in kitchen demonstration classes, and really learn about sustainable practices throughout this part of your daily life. So our user-friendly website allows for people like our persona to easily access different types of class offerings that Scott offers. And as you can see here, there is a wide variety of quality classes in which people can really develop and learn the basics of sustainable gardening practices, or just take a class in which they can have a good time socializing with family members and friends. Now, back to what exactly Green Thumb is consisting of. So Green Thumb has been formatted and designed with two major points in mind. One, education, and two, socialization, really being a third space. So as you can see pictured here, Green Thumb is surrounded by greenery itself, and there is a wide variety of sustainable gardening practices employed and integrated into the design of the space. So there is a greenhouse surrounding the perimeter of our social space, along with different types of socialization rooms available, such as our main dining room, where there's no restaurant concept per se, but where people, after they're finished with their kitchen classes, can come in and just have a good time socializing, excuse me, and really exchange those different types of ideas, knowledge, and have a good conversation in itself. Whereas there are different types of spaces available for families as well in mind. So there is a ample room for a kids playground, in which people can have their grandchildren or kids come in and play with each other within the garden atmosphere. And in terms of connecting Scott's products specifically to Green Thumb's consumers in mind, there is a specific showroom in which different types of Scott's organic products and relevant products are displayed and available for purchase, so that consumers can connect their on in-person educational experiences through the gardening classes along with the kitchen classes, and really understand how Scott's is providing that bridge between sustainable practices to their existence as a company. In terms of how Scott's Green Thumb came to be, we derived some of our inspiration from an existing company called Anderson's, which is based in Virginia Beach. So Anderson's is a greenhouse combined with a tourist type of attraction space, in which there are green thumbs, but there are like green thumb like classes in mind, but not really, because is more of a you buy your own type of nursery plant and you really develop your own type of gardening experience. And in terms of a food and dine-in area, there is a dine-in area, but it's more so where you come in, have a meal, and not really connect towards the environmental sustainable practices that could be made that made that meal available. And their gift shop is more garnered towards tourism as well, not so much as having the products necessary to create your own garden space. Hence why we believe that with Scott's Green Thumb, we could connect all of those missing gaps and improve it and expand it towards our consumers as well.
Thanks, Jen. So in terms of feedback, we got a lot of useful feedback from different peers using our pitch method, as well as the small group discussion forum. And they liked a lot of our idea. They liked that we had courses to help people learn how to garden and cook the food that they grow. But they thought that those courses might be a bit too affordable. And they wanted an ability to connect with people who are applying the knowledge being learned at Scott's Green Thumb at home to be able to have a discount. So we decided to provide a discount for those who bring food in that they have grown at home using the methods that are taught at Scott's Green Thumb. They thought that there was a little bit too much going on in terms of our concept. So we wanted to, follow their cues and simplify our concept into sort of just a cooking class and gardening class centered space with no central restaurant, because that would be a little bit too much going on. Instead, we have a cafe out front for sort of waiting for things to finish up with the cooking classes, and also for people who just want to stop by and maybe buy some Scott's products. We also wanted to transform the Green Thumb atmosphere to match our persona. Mrs. Green is a bit older and wants things that are more geared toward a family focus. So we added more things that are kid friendly, like our playground and classes that are oriented towards kids. If we can see the curious aspects. So we got quite a few questions from our peers, but one of the most important was how genuine is the sustainability that we're promoting at Scott's Green Thumb? And we didn't want to sort of detach from the brand and not promote products that's Miracle-Gro is famous for. But at the same time, we wanted Scott's Green Thumb to really push the organic products that Miracle-Gro already has, and then also teach people how to be responsible while using inorganic products that are being sold by Miracle-Gro. In terms of advertisement, as was mentioned earlier, we wanted to focus on Facebook in terms of our social media presence to push towards our older consumers, like our persona. And then also we wanted to use our retail spaces to, tell people that Scott's Green Thumb is available. So that would maybe mean, putting something on our packaging that's already present in retail spaces. In terms of improvements, we increased the price of Green Thumb from $45 to $60 for the classes. And we thought that was a fair price for the value that people will get in the space. And we changed our dining room space to be more of just an eating area instead of an actual restaurant. So more on the changes that we made. Again, we wanted to be as family oriented as possible, and we wanted to simplify a bit. That was one of our main takeaways in our evaluate step. So we took out the whole restaurant area and replaced it with a cafe or lounge. And we got quite a few questions during our pitch about how to reach out into the community, and we decided that it would be great to have community focused classes where we invite schools and other groups, maybe churches, that sort of thing, to have events in our space. And again, we added a discount for those who are implementing what we teach at Scott's Green Thumb at home, so that if they bring their own produce that they grew, they can have a discount on our classes.
So looking at our key benefits and the addition of Scott's Green Thumb restaurant, every section's ratings did increase, with various sections such as long view, impact, waste, and behavior. Every score improved, which is really exciting and wonderful.
So moving forward, there are three key aspects and components in which we believe with the success of Scott's Green Thumb, Scott's Miracle could focus on. One being the fact that there is a great opportunity for Scott's Miracle-Gro to expand and further the physical in-store operations of Green Thumb types of stores to different varieties of locations, so that the access to Scott's Green Thumb's philosophy and Scott's Miracle-Gro's products is greatly reachable. Secondly, we believe that in order for Scott's Miracle-Gro to continue their philosophies of being environmental stewards, they should have furthermore better advanced marketing opportunities and strategies so that they can focus on really pushing their message and pushing their types of practices to the general public and ensuring that in the future, any types of practices involving gardening are sustainable and green friendly. In terms of how to really pivot back into Scott's internal philosophies and internal practices, we believe that with the use of Scott's Green Thumb's success, they could really reevaluate and reflect on how this type of physical store can be brought towards their existing operations and ensure that their current strategies and tactics towards community engagement and sustainable practices will be successfully implemented throughout the entirety of the organization structure. And with that in mind, we thank you all for taking the time to listen to Scott's Miracle-Gro, and we would love to take any questions if there is any.